Good morning. I am higher vibrations and so are you. And wowza, this energy that we're getting and we've been getting is amazing. I know everyone's feeling differently. Some people are finding it to be a difficult energy to be in, and others are in this place of wow. I'm in between, I would say. Um, Happy new moon, everyone. This is a really awesome the new moon was official last night, though we're still in this energy of with the new moon is when you kind of plant the what you want to harvest in the full moon. And I feel like it's a double energy of that right now. So let's talk about some of the symptoms that we're having. A lot of people have I've talked to a few people today, and there's been so much energy that like new things turning on. Many of us had weird nights last night, weird in a good way, just like activation kind of stuff. Um, Carmen says the headache and insomnia. I, I guess you could call it insomnia if I was trying to sleep. You know, like I'm finding that I just want to stay awake. Awake, yeah, can't sleep for. Carmen says can't sleep for 2 to 3 days, and then Lisa here says I didn't go to sleep until after 3 a.m. I was awake well after 3 a.m. I was probably awake 12 hours ago. Still, past 4 sometime, at least for my time at Central Time. Anyway, lots of downloads and information came through. I had this whole I had an experience. It was like it appeared as if I was in the void, um, and I interacted with sacred geometry energy. This energy that would shift and change into sacred geometry, as like particles of light becoming a mist. It was really cool. Um, what was really a big deal in the moment, and I still don't know why. I haven't, it's cool. Um, at the time, there was one energy that came forward, and I was surprised that it was a masculine energy. I've never noted this before, and I knew to call this energy Aster. And I was talking to Stacy on the phone about this, and she said it's like a star, and so there's a lot of things that happened. That was just what happened with me. Everyone had something happen. Before that, this weird tingly thing. It was like fingers, and it started really at the top of the head, like that spot right there. But it just kind of this energy tickly that was just like very clearly two, and then down the center through the middle. It was really weird. This was an tickly activation that was happening last night, while I guess I couldn't fall asleep right away. Now that I think of it, usually by the time I finally let myself go to and get into bed, um, I should before I move on. There's comments I didn't see. If you comment before I start the live, I have to go to my phone or the actual YouTube video to see it. For some reason, this restream doesn't show me. Janet says, Mila, love, hello, good to see you. Joyce says, hello from Ireland, welcome. Colleen says, yes, Pamela, I want a reading. Yeah, please schedule. In the description, Colleen came through for me energetically, and on occasion I feel so inclined. If I ever reach out to you for a reading, it won't cost you anything. I'm not that. So there are people who pretend to be me, just so you all know. There's at least one account in Facebook that tries to hit people up for sessions. If I'm inclined to reach out to you for a session, I won't charge you. And so, because I'm so compelled by spirit, please understand that so you don't get scammed. So please, anyone who does want to schedule, you can also do this, but I'm just specifically for you, Colleen. Excuse me. Click the link in the description of this video. It's a Calendly website, and pick a time that you can meet with me, and I would love to meet with you at that time. Thank you for commenting. She's having a rough time with Paul's passing. The heartbreak is hard. I miss him very much. Thank you for reaching out to me. Yes, thank you. I hope that you schedule. Angela had said, hi, Pamela. Me and my mom are excited you're going to be on. Yay. We love you. Love you too. Oh, I see ya. Hi, Aaron. Good to see you. Okay, I'm caught up down there. Now let's go back to what I can see in real time. Lots going on. Dizziness is one of the biggest reports, or quaking feeling, vibration sensation within the body. I've also found myself experiencing this from time to time, in particular when the energies swell, like the energy becomes more intense, then it's energy that our bodies aren't really used to. And so it makes us, we tend to have this, it's like an overload of energy or something. I'm not sure how to describe it. Anyway, it's not bad. It's just surprising to our system. For instance, on occasion, when I'm doing channeling and doing sessions with people and I'm being channeled through, sometimes the energy that comes forward comes so close that I shake. I start to just my whole body. And it's not that I'm scared or anything like that. It's my physical form, not really sure how to be in that energy. We do get better at it. After you do it for some time, your body starts to like adapt and get used to it, conditioned or whatever. Pardon me. Okay, let's go back to some of these comments. Hello, Julie. Good to see you. I've missed you. Hi, Mila and everyone. No sleep or deep dreaming. That's very fascinating to hear. I didn't sleep very well. I didn't go to bed till late. That's different. That's actually not. Let me reword that, because that wasn't a correct statement. I went to bed very, very late, and I don't know how late it was before I finally fell asleep. Because I do remember now that, because I was having this sensation with the head and this whole thing. And then we slept pretty deep. I left my phone on silent, so my alarm didn't wake me up. And my daughter didn't wake up either. Like, usually what happens if I forget to turn on my ringer, my daughter comes and wakes me up. We slept late today and got some crazy weird activations. So everyone's experience is different. I can say that so far, I saw a drop down come up just as I came on the computer from a Telegram message to somebody else, where last night, or even a couple of hours ago, I think is actually what she said, which is in alignment kind of with the same consistency of my experience. Something changed. Something went click, like something happened, and it feels good. I can say, though, that moving, I feel like a sloth, like I'm moving through molasses. Like I'm just so like, I was gonna do this meeting or this show an hour earlier, and then after I posted, I was like, no, dude, I still hadn't bathed. My hair's still wet right now. Anyway, it's just been that kind of day today. Just like, I really am moving slow, and I'm okay with it, because how my life works, I can accommodate these shifts on, and then there are you can't. So if you can't, my heart goes out to you. And also there's a couple of tips I can give you in this kind of world. It's useful if you have like a bathroom. Every place that we go, or at least in this country, tends to have a bathroom with a bathroom stall, like a little door, and just take a break and finding the zero center point, in self, when you go there. So all you're doing is drawing in the light of God from Gaia, from all directions of love and light, and bring it all to your heart center, breathing through your nose, expanding your belly. So noticing you're using your diaphragm. Also, before I forget, this is something important that for me, so perhaps it is for you as well. I've been getting a lot of stuff the past 24 hours, but in particular the past 6 hours, about encouraging others to work to do something about parasite removal. This is really, it's not like people walking up to me or calling me or messaging me saying something. These are just bam, boom, boom moments of downloads. So this is something that we're clearing the slate. And when I was in the bath, that's what they said. We're helping to clear the slate to make available space for that which does serve us. coming in right now. This is the 8th. This is a day we've been looking forward to for a long time, you know. And there's others coming up too, though between now and like the Monday, I believe. It's kind of a respite space. We are going to have energy shifts and stuff like that, though there's some type of like catch your breath time. I have found, though, that when spirit uses the word respite, it doesn't feel like it to me. I feel like I drop into a denser space, emotionally speaking. This is when, I feel like I'm PMSing, is another way to say it. Let's also mention that the irritability. I had some weird irritability pop up last night. That I said that to a friend earlier. I was like, and I'm not even close to the PMS window. Irritability that was just out of the blue and no one was around me and it wasn't directed at an individual. Like I was mad at my blanket at one point. Like it didn't have credence. It didn't have weight. But this irritability is something a lot of people are feeling right now. Just little teeny waves. And knowing that when it comes through, just let it move through. It's not something we need to investigate and figure out. So just keeping that in mind too. Sovereign Cleo, hey, big love from Australia. Awesome. Weird dreams. Yeah, dude. Man, you're not joking. Some weird stuff happening. Awesome stuff. Something big happened. The fact that we slept so long is a significant point to make. I knew that when I woke up, especially having already had those experiences. I find that the deepest, most impactful and long-lasting spiritual activations that I have had in the summer window of time, which is counted as summer now that we're just at the new moon, we started to get the summer constellations. So we're technically in this real, like it's summer in the sky, and so it's reflected here. In this time, I find that the biggest activations occur in the afternoon. So I got in the habit where usually in the summer I'll nap. I'll get up early and I'll nap because this afternoon window is like, that's not really napping. It ends up being a nap, but it turns into starting out as a meditation. And the most profound experiences happen during that window of time. Even as a younger person, I would say that I was aware of energy and astral projection and these types of things at least by the age of 4 when I was engaging with this with my sisters and brothers. And so, what I'm saying is I was aware of that back then too. I remember thinking that in the summertime, you want to take a nap in the afternoon and it gets a deep activation stuff. And so us sleeping as long as we did, I woke up almost at noon. A lot of stuff could have come in. And so I'm very grateful that I get to be in the position where today's that day where I didn't have to get up early. Ralph, hi Mila, hi all, love from Scotland. Good to see you, Ralph. Kenny's here too. Hi all. Jeanette says it feels like the freight train has taken off and lift off to where or a roller coaster, and I think that's probably a or a roller coaster, and I fell out, shot into the unknown. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Some of this, it feels like we've been projected and propelled into a whole new space. Something's definitely shifted. Colleen, yeah, I get to see you live. Love you. Thanks for caring. Love you too, sweetie. I'm glad you're here. Flicks love thank you, Flicks. Those of you who have missed this, I had a conversation last night with an energy being, with energy beings, and they presented like particles of light that could freely move in the air before me and would kept turning themselves into things. Like they were different colors. That's how you could really tell it was an individual was a different shade or fully completely different color. And the masculine energy that came in was called Astor. And it was spelled like this, Astor. That's exactly how it was spelled. This means doorway. This is fascinating. I remember at the moment, it was very, very important that I recalled that name. And so I'm impressed that I did because I don't tend to recall names any longer. Something happened along the way where I kept saying, it's like asteroid, but don't say it the wrong way. And it meant it was similar to asteroid because it meant something about stardust and the heavens and this opening. And so the fact that opening the doorway, thank you for that. I'm going to chew on that for a bit. It's fascinating how much we're getting these days. Julie, yes, to head tickly. Okay, you're getting the tickling head too. It's crazy. It's just weird. It's like, it feels good. It doesn't feel unpleasant. It's just like, I definitely had to put my hand up there, make sure there wasn't like a tarantula crawling on my head or something. But yeah, there was something. And then it was just in the surface, just beneath the surface of the scalp as well. It was really cool. Hello, Groovers. Good to see you, Leah. Spiritual warrior. I got an intuitive download to use frankincense essential oil before sleep. It grounds you. 3 of us tried it and slept soundly. Those without struggled. Okay. All right. That's a really, so frankincense essential oil before you go to bed. That makes a lot of sense. Frankincense. I know. But someone's got to say it. Hello, Jana. Good to see you, sweetie. Maddie says she loves you. I had mentioned you the other day. She got really excited. I'm finding it's, I don't know what the deal is, why it's becoming so difficult for me to correspond with people. And I'm reading them. Like I'll then have consider what they just told me. And it's like, oh yeah. And then we go somewhere else and I'm like, oh yeah. And then this leads to the next thing. And I still haven't responded, and I'm sorry. I do mean to, and in a lot of ways I have. Maybe, energetically and telepathically, we do connect. It's really weird. So with a lot of people, okay, so here's one. Maybe y'all are doing this and you don't know. How often does this happen, right? This is really common. This is what it feels like when you're ending a conversation in a telepathic conversation. A telepathic. I kind of like that word better. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to change. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, is that, so you're usually doing something. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. Maybe you're gardening. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just sitting there. And then all of the sudden, but it doesn't feel like all of the sudden, this an energy starts to pull away, and you're very aware that you just had this really in-depth, like hours worth of conversation with this other individual. And like, as they start to pull away, it's like, wait, who's that? Who was that? Oh wait, was there somebody here? And then you notice it's only been a moment. It's literally like the clock second hand might have ticked 2 times, maybe. And usually, if you're in conversation with somebody else, because that 2 or 3 hours of conversation with this other individual in a telepathic way took up so much of that, it felt like a long time, that you don't even remember what you were talking about, where you are. Oh, you're remembering, oh yeah, I'm sitting in front of my friend here. It's really bizarre and cool. We're doing this a lot. At first, that's what it feels like. And then in order to strengthen that skill set is simply, as the energy's fading away, just kind of like the person as they're leaving and they touch the doorknob and you're like, oh, one more thing, that kind of thing. You can be like, hey, by the way, thanks for coming. And their energy kind of comes back just a little bit, that now when you're in this conscious state, you can acknowledge and recognize, okay, that's who that is. I don't always do that. And so I don't always know who I've talked to. I can speak. And so that just helps to kind of strengthen that skill. We are all of us, coming online in a lot of different ways that we didn't ever think that we would, probably. And so there's just some little tips and tricks to kind of strengthen these things. And we're here, guys. It's going to be so cool. The next one, it's already here. Hello, Divine Feminine Rising. Hey, Mila. Hi, Soul Tribe. Good to see you. Kenny says, was grounding, loving all as is, giving gratitude for all that is, and all of me felt a shift. Yeah, you felt the shift too. It's so lovely, the shift that we're in. Oh my goodness, it's so lovely. I just can't. I don't have words. Wendy, so happy to see you. your YouTube video, Mila, Maddie. Oh, it's so good to see you, Wendy. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the love to me and to Maddie. I see you now. Thank you so much. Yeah, this is something else too, is that there's a code in the 24th. Just so y'all know. This has to do with my daughter and why I was reminded by that. Um, I'm not, there's no reason to look ahead, and of course to be in the moment that we're in, and we're in an awesome energy today. Um, the paid group that I do on Wednesdays, we're doing a group meditation. I'm getting the feeling that this, we do meditation every week. I'm getting the feeling that this particular meditation is having to do with parasite removal stuff in an energetic way. Um, there's a lot of resources that we had talked about a little while ago in one of the groups. And I just want to bring this up because I'm going to catch my breath. Excuse me, I had something stuck in my throat. And so, anyway, so Hulda Clark is an individual. If anyone wants to type it into the chat, that would be awesome. If not, it's okay. And then Barbara ONeal is another one. These two individuals are a few of the last books, resources that you can really. There was a lot of books that were burned, and a lot of useful information was wiped away, and these two individuals somehow made it through the cracks. And just to reiterate something we've talked about in the past, is that for many years, typically it was the female kitchen, just worked out that way, but not always. The mom, the grandma, the great grandma would have this book. It was dog-eared and yellowed and sat in the kitchen, and this book would tell you different types of parasite removal techniques, herbal remedies for things, how to, assist yourself in a lot of different ways. Parasite removal was a regular practice. The type of parasite removal we do in a regular way, there's only a couple of things, like the nasty stuff that people get along the edges of their nose. Those are considered parasites. If you put them under a microscope, you can see it. We also do, the washing of our eyes, because we do have these little parasites that help us, but they pile up. We also brush our teeth. There are some things that we still do, though. There's a lot of things that we've lost the knowledge about. And these two resources, these two women, Hulda Hulda Clark, and Barbara ONeal, spelled as it sounds, are resources that will help you with this. And today's meditation, the group meditation for the paid group that I do on Wednesdays, it always gets recorded. So if you're not part of our Telegram group, there's a link for that. You can join. Those of you who are part of our Telegram group, I will post that recording afterward. The meditations that we do, you can always do more than once. And it's cool because you can enter your, so if you've done it more than once, you every time you do it, you go back to the energies that have already done it. And there's been times where I've gone in there and I felt myself. And so I knew I was going to do it again. It's really funny. So it's kind of cool. Wendy says, I had intense dreams last night. So real. Woke a few times. A lot of people had an amazing night last night. This is the beginning of a lot of these kind of experiences that we're going to be having more and more over the next little bit. Bathtub is my temple. Yeah, dude. That's where I get so much. It's so weird too, because I'll hear my voice very clearly. But it's not me. I don't talk like that. Like, it sounds like I'm mad almost, because I'm very precise. And I'll hear myself echoing on the bathroom walls as I talk. And it's a message. And that's where a lot of my big downloads, and this whole parasite thing is part of that. Aaron, hello. Super low moods and apathy, then super creative and productive. Keep switching between. Yeah, I've been getting that too. It's very strange. And we're not wishy-washy. It's just that's where we kind of are. I would say that I don't dip as low as I had last month. It's just kind of like you feel it and you're like, maybe it's time for a nap. Maybe it's time to meditate. If you do find yourself low enough that it's hard to pull yourself out, I have this folder on my YouTube channel that I have public for people to look at. You don't have to use those ones in particular, though it's very useful. Um, it's called higher frequency, I think is the name of the folder. Higher frequency music for relaxing and for meditation or something. Anyway, this is a bunch of high frequency music that you can just click. What I tend to do, the folder has like 100 or so of them on there, is I'll click shuffle. And it's kind of like the spirit magic 8 ball. I'm removing my control, my decision part of it, and saying whatever is useful, the most useful for me at this time. And then what is needed pops up. This helps bring our energy up just enough just to get to the top of it, so we can then manage ourselves, and then we can pull ourselves back into a different frequency. So, for those of you who are feeling the very very low, that's how I did it. That's how I pulled back out. So, thank you very much for your comment, Aaron. It's good to see you. It's going to keep getting better. It's going to keep getting better and more every day. And we'll have a couple more dips too. Kenny, have you heard on 5-5 workers helped create a hope grid? Cool. I can buy that. Something really big happened on that day. As we know, a lot of stuff happened that day. There was it was set for that too. There's a lot of religious relationships to this particular day. Just a lot of things. There's another one that's happening right now. There's some kind of activation that's happening right now as a group cooperative effort, that I don't know about in a logical way, but it's happening. You can feel it. This has to do with those who are here, meaning us. And I can feel it. And that's what the joy, that's the feeling like your brother is next to you, as you're walking anywhere in the world, you're safe feeling. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Maria felt something shift earlier today. Yeah, dude. Me too. So cool. I felt it as I moved in slow motion. Yes, moved in slow motion. I do. I feel like I'm like going in molasses. Like you're just going super slow, like walking through molasses. It's really bizarre. And it's not like I feel like I'm having to exert more effort. It's just that my desire is to move slow, if that makes sense, which is me. I'm an Aries, so for that, it's just been kind of Joanne, a strong need for music and dancing. Yeah. And celebrate. Man, as a lot of you know, I get a lot of and many of you get this, it's not just me. Like there's a sound clip of part of a song and it just drops in. It's a download. Typically that's from Archangel Sandalphon. He's the teal one. So he's the higher heart. That's when the throat chakra and the heart chakra are aligned. You're speaking with love. You're speaking with truth. That's why when we are our true authentic selves, the vibration that we can present in our own experience as well as those around us is so much more profound than that of the frequency of love, is because you are using love and you're using your throat chakra too. These are the two until recently, until like the mid 90s, I never really saw anyone who moved through from their solar plexus chakra to their heart chakra. You just didn't meet people like that. It just didn't happen. On occasion you would see an example of it, but it wasn't like in real life, and that was it. Now, more than not, everyone is in this heart chakral space and also moving into this higher heart, throat chakra, speaking with truth place. I've got this cough that hasn't stopped for a while, and it's changing, and there's a lot of stuff regarding this mucus. This has to do with parasites too. I didn't know this, though. The mucus is a sheath that's kind of like protecting the parasites, and our bodies are sending it out. It's like another way to say it. It's like the sac that contains the tumor that usually, when the medical world wants to decide if you're ill or not, they'll put a big hole in the sac and release all the toxins into your body. which this is what something that is like, everybody knows about this. Anyway, the same thing happens with this mucus. So I'm encouraged that I'm having so much mucus move through my body. It's just, and also the download I got from it is that this mucus isn't something that's forming. It's like something that's been here and it's needing to go now. So anyway, that's something I've really been dealing with a lot lately, is this lung and the quantity of mucus. That's, some animals don't know how to cough it up, like Elsa and her horses. She talked about that a few times. Horses don't know how to vomit or cough. And so some animals are finding it difficult to, if you do have a fur baby that's having struggles, there are solutions. One of them is, if you can find mullein, Mullien. It's also known as lamb's ear. This can be ingested. This also can be smoked. With an animal, I would suggest to get a small pile of it, and catch it ablaze and kind of get it so it's smoldering, like you would with a sage stick or something, to where it's smoking, and then hold the animal above this smoke. Elsa did something similar to this with the horses. I don't know if it was mullein, but it was something like it, and it helped. It really helped. It started to improve the animals, the horses that she had. So thank you for bringing up the music. I've strayed very far from that. Flicks Love, yeah, those naps are in between worlds. Wonderful. I know, dude. This time of year, afternoon, early afternoon, and then it gets to be later and later. This is something that I don't think about things, because I've been doing most of this kind of stuff since I was like, 4 and 6 and so on, so it's been a long time. So some of the things I don't think to tell anybody, and one of those is the Primo Time for activation and for meditation changes with the seasons. So for instance, in the depths of winter, this is like really late at night, really, really late at night. We're talking like 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the best time for meditation. That's why we get those kind of activations so often at night when we're asleep during the winter. And then slowly it gets earlier and earlier. Before long, instead of staying up late, you're getting up early. And then it just shifts and rotates around. A lot of people find that all they need to do is be in this place of sleep or rest during that time, that we don't really need to be in like intentional guided meditation always, though this is useful too. So yeah, it's really cool following this calendar that we're at right now. And today, well, at the new moon, we brought in some of the first summer constellations into the heavens above us. So now we're starting to see the summer being born is basically what happens, because it's coming up over the horizon, right? Blue Angelic, hi, sweetie. Can I ask any guidance messages for me now, please? Thank you. New here. Yeah, you can ask any questions. I mean, there is something I can say, and this is my disclaimer, is that I sometimes will miss the comment. So because the way that this program is, that the comments aren't the best. I'm shopping for a different streaming service right now. Anyway, therefore, if you've asked a question and I've not responded to it, please ask it again. You're not being aggressive in any way. It's just accommodating my thing here. So yes, please go ahead. Anyone can ask a question. 2 months into a 3-month parasite cleanse. Ooh, and the emotional shift has been huge. Energy blockages have dissolved. Sovereign Cleo, thank you for this comment. We've been encouraged about this for about that long as well. It's been a topic that's come up again and again. It's very fascinating how everyone seemed to just have this. Hello, I am welcome. How everyone's just had this knowledge for all those years, and then all of a sudden we just kind of stopped doing it. Parasite removal on a regular basis is incredibly useful. It's a tool. It's scraping the crap off of your teeth. That's a parasite removal. It's washing your skin. The stuff that's leaving our pores right now, especially, there's stuff leaving our bodies right now in this grand purge that we're in, so yeah, a lot of stuff. Allow yourself to look that up again. If it's Hulda, Hulda Clark. Hulda Clark is one, and then you have Barbara ONeal. Barbara ONeal has a YouTube channel. I don't know if it's her channel or someone just showed me videos from somebody else watching her do a presentation or two, but you can find these by doing a search. This is just really cool homeopathic um, and just natural methods of doing this, of this parasite removal. Excuse me. Leah, hi. Oh, my ancestors, Mila. I've had Ashtara here. I think I've spelled it wrong. Ashtara. Ashtara? Ashtara. This sounds like the divine feminine side of it. I don't know. Ashtar. I know Ashtar. Ashtar's an energy I used to interact with quite a bit at one point. Um, Not that I've stopped for any reason in particular. Shannon, love you. Good to see you. Um, I am on here now. Love to Maddie and you. Oh, did you move from Facebook to YouTube or YouTube to Facebook or something? I think. Yeah. Good to see you. I love you too. Trina, I love you. Having body vibrations, frustrated anger, headache, joint pains. Hey, Trina, I'm wearing the shirt you gave me. Thank you for this tie dye. I love tie dyes. I love it. Thank you so much. Yeah, headaches. I found from my experience this particular little while, meaning the past day or so, it's been more like tickly stuff, though it was. Let me say that differently. I was having headaches, and then just the past 24 hours, it's been more tickly kind of stuff on my head. Body vibrations, this new frequency coming in. It's like just standing in the power, the sheer power of it. It does make our body shake. At least that's what happens with me. Shaking can also occur as a result of the conduit that you are. A lot of energies are up and moving through, and often this frustrated anger, irritability, things like this is like the goodbye note from the energy that's moving through you as the conduit that you are. There are things leaving still. All things in spirit are meant to be gradual so that they have lasting effect. If it was done too quickly, then the likelihood of longevity diminishes dramatically over time. So you don't want to shock anybody, so we do end up though having this be a very gradual thing. So as it's moving through gradually, just allow it to go if that's what this is, because there's a couple different reasons that we shake or have vibrations. Then there's the actual shaking. So then there's this it feels different. And when the shaking occurs, not always, but this is the one that I have experienced. The shaking is the shaking out that Archangel Michael talks about, and he said that we're doing it again this summer now. Summer for me, where I live, it's 86 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which is like, I think 30 Celsius or something like that. It's pretty warm. So for me, it's summer. And this is like a big shaking out window right now. What shaking out means is that our body starts to like often you'll see it in your eyebrow or and it moves. It's like here for a few weeks or days, and then all of a sudden it's the other side and it moves to your. We have these things, but then there's also the bigger muscle group ones, and then all the way to like what we call a Charlie horse or a muscle spasm, even a muscle seizure, because it can be so intense it can be interpreted as that. These are shakings out. So this is what it was explaining is that this stuff that we're clearing through, it looks kind of like a screen, and you shake out the stuff that is like the pieces of dirt and stuff, and then what you want is left behind. And that's kind of what's happening to our body, is that we do the shaking out when there's density or something that's not serving us in some way, that's kind of for one reason or another resistant. This is usually not by choice by the energy. It has more to do with it's just kind of embedded. And so we have the shaking out. So there's a lot of different answers to this vibration. I just wanted to be clear because there's so many different ones. You can find out the answer very easily by asking your higher self. You can ask, you can do tap test stuff. I know that there's other examples like, you use the thumb test, the lean test, these kinds of things. You can ask questions with a pendulum crystal. There's a lot of different things. Though I find that whatever the answer is comes to you right away. And often we'll question that, though that is like, that that's the answer. Maybe it's not the one you want, or it's not as in depth as you'd like. Karen says, Marina, beautiful beings, sending Aroha from New Zealand. Thank you for joining us, Karen. So good to see you. Hello, Sally. Welcome. Okay, Leah. Ashra. Ooh, I like this name. Thank you. Okay, Trina says it's Holga Clark. I'm gonna pull this up. Yeah, it's I have Hulda. So this is you guys can't see that. And it's also backwards probably. Hulda Clark. And then we have Barbara ONeal. I have these on my phone because we were having a conversation. I don't know if you can see those. Anyway, they're pretty. It's really awesome, and there's probably more examples where you can find these different. Thank you. Here we go. Hulda Clark. Thank you very much, Vesper. This is an individual who's an author and just well known. I believe she passed away a few years back, around the time my daughter was born. And so, but her books are still available, And Barbara ONeal. Yes, thank you. That's right, Barbara ONeal. And so we have these two examples, and they're really awesome resources. There's others, though they're still in print. You're able to find it. And so they show you methods, easy things you can do, just, picking things from your yard, or going to the local store, or there things that will impact you in a long lasting way. We've collected a lot of these things in our bodies, things that they have a purpose. For instance, the parasites that hang out on your eyelashes, they clear all of the gunk that goes on your eye. They help you, and it keeps it from going into your eye, rather, and they keep the eye area clear. Though after a while, there's too many of them, and they got to pick up and move. And so that's why we wash our eyes and so on and so forth. So it's really, really helpful, just to kind of look into these different ways of doing this. So thank you so much. Carmen, do a breathing exercise before bed, makes sleep better, and have vivid dreams, makes you remember better. Cool. I can very much resonate with that. Also, the tension meditations before going to bed. What this is just getting yourself comfortable, usually on your back, and you can be in any position though. If you want to be on your side or something, that's okay. And then as you relax your body, you start from the top and you move down. And so the areas of your body, even if you don't think you can tense up your forehead, and then relax it. But you tense it up really, really for a minute and just like hold it tight for a bit and relax and move down through all these different muscle groups in your body. This also helps. It releases all of the excess energy that needs to move so you can find rest easier. Hi, Paula. Could parasites be the cause of anxiety disorders and or mental illness? I would say that some of those cases, that's true. A lot of the anxiety that I've interacted with people having, I've noticed that this is the case. It's energies that are attached to them in some way. Not always, I would say that there isn't a one answer for anything, for each person, it's a little bit different. However, anxiety is also, I've been interacting with this as a consciousness. Like, that's actually what put me over the edge, where I'm like, okay, something's got to be different now. Is that I got to a point where I was experiencing anxiety enough that I was considering medication, which was a big deal to me. I had gotten off everything on purpose and stayed off of it for quite some time at that point. And then I found out what I was feeling wasn't even, it's consciousness. It's like an entity, basically. I know it sounds strange, But it when we interact with it in this way, we are able to resolve it. So even if you don't believe that it's an entity or a consciousness, by interacting with it that way, it solves it. So I don't know why not, right? And my lungs are really not my friend right now. Thank you, Mila. Thank you, Aaron. Agreed. Carmen first. Oh yeah, the tip. There's a lot of things we could do to get to help ourselves go into rest. I would say that also, um, more than usual, we're being guided away from, caffeinated beverages. Not so much about sleep, but that just reminded me of it. Our bodies are needing more hydration right now, and things like this, as well as like alcohol, it definitely dehydrates us. The reason that we urinate so much when drinking, it's not because all of a sudden we're taking in all this extra fluid. Our body's noticing this, what they're experiencing as poison, and trying to push it out of your body. Now, I'm not telling anybody to do or not do something. Though, if you're noticing you're extra dehydrated, maybe consider, for right now, shifting that a little bit. The download that we got this was a day or two ago in a session with someone, is between now, when the day or two ago was, and Lionsgate. We're going to be noticing we're going to need to be able to take on more and more fluid. And because plasma moves through bodies of water a lot more efficiently and less disruptive than any other. And so when we contain more water in our bodies, we're more hydrated. It will assist us in this as the plasma moves through. Plasma is also what we call solar flares sometimes. Plasma is also a consciousness. It's a lot of different things. It's really fun to kind of connect with and understand a little bit, though. Just keeping this in mind, that, if you're going to be drinking a caffeinated beverage, for instance, that day, perhaps try to remember to drink, 3 times that of the coffee or the caffeinated beverage of water, or something that's like water. Clean water is really, if you can stick to more than that than anything else, it'll help you. Anyone else irritable and easily frustrated the past few days? This came up earlier, yes. This was something that I noticed it a couple of different times, though in particular, it was last night after everyone had gone to bed and I was laying in bed getting ready to go to sleep. And I was like, it was silly stuff. Like, I was irritated at my blanket, because it wasn't bending the way I wanted to or something. I don't even remember. Just silly things like this. Yes, this is a common report right now. Papaya seeds, it's a great way of detoxing parasites. Thank you, light worker. Bay? I want to say it the right way. I hope Bay? That's really cool. I like the way that your name looks. It feels like it has code in it. Thank you. Yeah, papaya seeds. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Divine Feminine Rising. I had a burned matchstick appear next to me on the side of the bathtub on 5-5. I only use lighters for my candles, so it was, wow, highly paranormal. That's cool. That's very interesting. There's been a lot more paranormal type stuff. Sometimes when we get cold flashes, it's because we're walking through energies. I had an experience just recently. Oh, by the way, energies do tend to, what's the right word? Collect around bodies of water. And in this example, it was my bathroom. There's a bathroom between my daughter's room and my room. And walking through the bathroom from hers to my room, with the lights out, I just tucked her in. And I walked through energies, a lot of energies. And I got so cold in the core of me that the center of my body hurt from shivering so violently and so quickly, like all of a sudden, to the point where I am like, I could barely move. I had to crawl into bed and put on a down blanket and a sweater and a hoodie and a hat and socks. And I mean, It's 86 degrees Fahrenheit right now, though at night it's not quite that hot. It was an amazing experience. Um, Light is cold. I just spit while I said that. Light is cold. Um, when we are also containing more light, our bodies will keep a core temperature of lower degrees than what is expected, than what is said that is healthy or expected by doctors. So that's something very fascinating to know about. And so now we go back to the bathroom experience here, and there's a lot of water in the bathroom. How many epiphanies have been had in the bathroom because of us connecting with the water too? This is a conductor of spirit, water. And the more that we find, like, we get downloads when we're doing the dishes in the sink, we get downloads when we're taking a shower, when we're on the toilet, when we're washing our hands, when we're next to bodies of water and interacting with them. It's really cool. Fascinating. That's really neat that you got that. Thank you for telling me about it. Definitely need to ground. Grounding really does help. Grounding helps. And something else is happening too that I only just started to understand slightly is that the way that the solar flares are interacting with our weather and also interacting with how things are happening. So, for instance, the solar flare coming in, we have a lot of them right now, as you all know. We're feeling them. The one that they showed me leaving the sun hasn't left the sun yet, and so I don't know what that one is. I thought that it was supposed to be today, but then there's also a big thing about the 24th too. So we'll see. I know we have a couple, but they're not what we're talking about. It's not the same thing. This isn't what we were talking about when I was channeling that before. So there's going to be more. Anyway, as the solar flare comes in to the planet, the area of the planet, if there's already a little bit of a storm there, there's going to be more. It's going to be bigger. We're having really big weather. And then if you look at the temperature of the ocean, as the ocean warms, that's when we start to get bigger weather, right? The ocean, this is the Atlantic Ocean I'm talking about, by the Bermuda Triangle, right? This is already 2 months ahead of itself in its temperature. In the summer is really technically only just starting. And so there's a lot of increase already, and warm water in the ocean typically does respond, and there's weather. What I'm trying to show you is what they were showing me is that as a result, grounding is the opposite. And just as I started getting that, I found a video. There's this person, I don't really typically follow a lot of content, not because I don't want to, it's just I get distracted really easily right now. And stuff like that is Stephen Burns talked about it then, about when we are in solar flares, when we go out and put our feet on the ground, we're actually taking in positively charged ions rather than negative ones. When we ground, we typically are putting our positively charged ions into the ground and accepting in new negatively charged ions. We're emptying out, and that's the clearing, and the energy is clear. The opposite's happening for a lot of us now. It's like we're doing the opposite of grounding. When we ground, we're taking on the positively charged ions, and it's not bad for us exactly, but we can feel it. It feels poppy in the head. Like you feel like, I don't know, just like you've been awake way too long, and maybe you were awake for 3 days like I was in college, and then, take a nap, but not long enough. And so when you wake up, like everything's poppy and disoriented, and your body's not happy with you for hours. That's kind of what but not the unpleasant part, just the pop, pop, pop part. That's what it feels like. I don't know if that makes any sense. Oh wow, it's already 4:55. I've been here for an hour almost. We just got started, man. There's so much to talk about. Joshua, dandelions in general are great for your health. Yes, the leaves are not the best taste once the weather gets warmer, though. Yeah, the younger the better, and yeah, the temperature. Also, you can. So there's a couple of different things about the dandelion, but the main thing is it's really good for detoxing. Like if you need to do some kind of cleanse, the easiest thing is dandelions. Though I would like to point something out, that if someone has sprayed a chemical in your yard within the past 10 years, it seeps into and stays in the dirt for a long time, because it's not soil down there, it's dirt. And so if you're going to be picking dandelions, just do it with your awareness and make your own choices. We can transmute anything, though, just so you know. Using dandelion, you can dig up the root and dry it, clean it off really good, and then dry it, and then grind it like you would coffee. And it tastes like a medium roast. It tastes really yummy, and then you get the benefit of it. You can also do dandelion tea. You can buy dandelion tea like this at the grocery stores, already pre-packaged and stuff too. Eating it, the flower is really good for you. I know we used to make dandelion wine, and the dandelion wine wasn't meant for, like it was medicinal. It ended up being wine. And this is really helpful too. There's a lot of different things. I can say that I like the leaves of dandelion when I mix. I prefer to mix them with other grains, like, and it takes the bite away from it a bit. So just keeping that in mind. Kenny, don't stop believing. Yes, don't. That was just singing that song to somebody. Been coming through and playing often, as well as Eagle. Saw one while I was grounding, shifting. Thank you for bringing this up. This is a message that won't stop right now. It's a message meant for everyone, including myself, to keep in mind that the gas that propels all these things, the gas of the spirit, the petrol, the fuel, is belief. What we've done is as a culture, as a society, as a world, accepted to ourselves in this conditioned way to always question, just enough to pull away from the belief, because belief is you're set in. It's like, yes, this is true. There's just certainty. And then just having that little bit of questioning, is this real? Am I sane? Is this blah, 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 is just enough away from belief to often halt or slow the progress of the experience that is useful for you. So it's the fuel that propels spirit. When we are in belief, all things are possible. When you can believe yourself, allow yourself to trust yourself, trust your intuition, experiment with it, allowing yourself to check the world around you, coming into these Zoom meetings that we do on Fridays typically, and other groups like this, where you talk to people, you connect with others. The Telegram group has a lot of people in it. I think there's like 450 people in our Telegram group, something like that. And there's a whole bunch of folders and categories, so you can like have your own little chats going on. It's really cool to meet people all over the planet. I'm bringing up all of this because as we do it, we can compare notes. And this is how we learn to trust ourselves. Fly. Once we trust ourselves, once we can trust our intuition, then we get past all of our barriers, all of the enslavement of the spirit and the energy, and move into the now moments. And so that's why community is so important for so many of us. Calling yourself whatever you want to call yourself. I don't resonate with any word, any title of any of the things that people say. I'll pick one up and use it for a while and I'll move on. There's starseed, there's empath, there's awakening ones, there's rainbow warriors, rainbow tribe. There's a lot of different words. I'm just me. We're us. And when you remove yourself from the mask of the body, we see that we're all the same. And so it doesn't actually matter to me, though I respect whatever anyone wants to call themselves. The point is, as we draw closer to others like us, who are in the awakening experience that we're in now, and able to kind of connect in that way, it helps you to learn to trust yourself. Pardon me. Oh, thank you, Josh. Just tuning in, hearing about parasite removal. Dandelion flowers have been calling me this spring. Great for liver detoxification, amongst other things. Yeah, there's a lot of use of this. A lot of use. Dandelion's really awesome for a lot of reasons. I've always loved dandelions. And there's that childlike nature about it, you know. Go and pick in all the dandelions, see how many you can get when it's fresh and they're really awesome and beautiful yellow. Now Dragonfly has joined me in the flowers. That's so cool, Kenny. Dragonfly is really, really awesome energy. Let's actually bring this up because this has come up a couple of times. I don't know if y'all want to know, but I'm going to do it anyway because I can. This is I'll show you the book in a second. What this is, it's the totem of, you know, all the different animals, the medicine of what the animals mean. This is what the book looks like. There you go. Though it's like really beat up. So let's see here. Let's hold it up so you can see the title. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, it might be backwards. It looks backwards to me. Anyway, this particular book is from Jamie Sams and David Carson, Medicine Cards. It actually comes with the cards that I use. There's a lot of really useful information in here. If you don't have a book like this, you can look it up. Simply say in any search engine on the internet, what is the totem of, and then say the animal. This one's dragonfly, and dragonfly is illusion. That's also 27, which is my number. Dragonfly breaks illusions, brings visions of power. No need to prove it. Now is the hour. Know it, believe it. Great Spirit intercedes, feeding you, blessing you, filling all your needs. Dragonfly medicine is of the dream time and of the illusionary facade we accept as physical reality. The iridescence of dragonfly's wings reminds us of colors not found in our everyday experience. Dragonfly's shifting of color, energy, form, and movement explodes into the mind of the observer, bringing vague memories of a time or place where magic reigned. Some legends say that Dragonfly was once dragon, and the dragon had scales like dragonfly's wings. Dragon was full of wisdom and flew through the night, bringing light with its fiery breath. The breath of dragon brought forth the art of magic and the illusion of changing form. Then dragon got caught in its own facade. Coyote tricked dragon into changing form, and the shape of its new body became like dragonflies. In accepting the challenge to prove its power and magical prowess, dragon lost its power. Dragonfly is the essence of the winds of change, the messages of wisdom and enlightenment, and the communication from the elemental world. The elemental world is made up of the tiny spirits of plants and of the elements air, earth, fire, and water. In essence, the world is full of nature spirits. If dragonfly has flown into your cards today, you may have forgotten to water your plants. On another level, you may need to give thanks to the food you eat for sustaining your body. On a psychological level, it may be time to break down the illusions you have held that restrict your actions or ideas. Dragonfly medicine always beckons you to seek out the parts of your habits which you need to change. Have you put on too much weight, or have you started to look like a scarecrow? Have you tended to the changes you have wanted to make in your life? If you feel the need for change, call on Dragonfly to guide you through the mists of illusion to the pathway of transformation. See how you can apply the art of illusion to your present question or situation, and remember that things are never completely as they seem. I love this book. Anyone ever, you can get it on Amazon, you can get it anywhere. It's really cool. It's called Medicine Cards. It comes with a deck of cards. I've had this book for so long that it's really beat up. And anyway, it's a really awesome, useful tool. All animals that come into our experience tell us something. I learned something about fly that didn't come as a result in a search. Someone suggested I look up fly because I've been getting it. Usually when I'm doing a session, all of a sudden there's flies here. And fly is unresolved. Fly is something that's being left unresolved. And it led into the conversation of of that it also is what feeds creation, spiders creation. And so remembering that if we're finding that there are things that are unresolved, create, allow yourself to create. You know, creation can be done in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's drawing, sometimes it's sculpting, sometimes it's something that we don't consider creation, like cooking or cleaning or organizing or whatever expression of some way. This is all channeled stuff that comes through us, and this will assist us. So that's a really interesting thing that came up. It's kind of random to bring up now, though it does feel very, very relevant for the time. Let's see. Let me grab a couple more, and then I got to get going. Glitter Goddess? Has anyone experienced eye floaters? Yeah, I've had them for almost a year. Finally went to an eye specialist, and everything was fine in my retinas. Curious if anyone else has this. Yeah. So, um, I call it sky glitter. I don't actually see it in my eye. There's been a couple of times where what you're talking about, where you're like, that's somebody, it feels like there's something someone that's in your eye. But for the most part, and that is a parasite, I see a lot of this sky glitter is what I call it. It looks like snow kind of flickering in the air, in the daytime light. I find that there needs to be light from the sun or the moon to see it. I'll see it at night as well. When I wasn't living in a human place either, so it wasn't refracted light as a result of, glimmering, water fragments in the air. Anyway, I see that Clarissa says that she's got definitely, yes, glitter goddess. I see them a lot. A lot of people are having, here's another one, Kenny. I've had tons of eye floaters for many years. Yeah, I wonder how many of them are in the eye and beyond the eye. It doesn't, I don't know for sure. Hi, Elsa. Morning, Mila from Oz. Love you. Good to see you. Oh, thank you, Flix Love. X 1.02 solar flare with a strong R3 radio blackout just now. Okay. We're going to get a bigger one. It feels like today. A little bit bigger. The energy that'll come through, it's like a group of people. So like there's going to be a couple of solar flares that are going to kind of like either collect together or they're going to like, come in a rapid succession. There's just a lot of really cool, different things. Vesper, is this what are you talking about? I guess if I ask, you have to go and wait for a little bit. But Demodix mites, are these the eye floaters that you're talking about? A lot of stuff about that. Also, we're having a lot of man, I just lost my train of thought because I got distracted by a different point. So remembering that when we're getting solar flares, we're having the opposite experience, allowing yourself to introduce more salt into your water, into your diet. Salt water is what I was thinking to myself, because this is what I'll do is I'll rinse with it and then drink some of it too. Not a lot of it. I find that this is something that we like to do. If you need to like vomit really quickly, drink a lot of salt water. So I'm just letting you know, you may not want to consume quite a lot, and see what your body can handle. Salt really is something that we're being called to do to help us with, grounding as much as we can. The flies found my orange juice, so I want to protect it. Anyway, also we can have like salt water near us. If we don't live next to the ocean, you can have a bucket or even a cup with water and some salt added to it. This does help ionize the air around you, and kind of help bring some more stabilization. Flix Love says many smaller M-class ones too. This is the fourth one or something this week. Yeah, dude. We're getting a lot coming in. I do got to get going. I there's so much more happening. I was gonna come on last night, and I'm very curious. So I'll stay up. I'm curious. Will you guys answer my question? I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom so I can find it. Are y'all around in the middle of the night? Because I would have come on if I thought that there might be somebody to talk to. Meaning, like I felt like I was compelled to go live, but then I was Today, typically on Wednesdays, I have a show where I have someone join me, but there was a miscommunication. I don't tend to um, correspond a lot right now. And so some people may misinterpret that as me not thinking that they're going to be on my show. If I've set it up with you that we're gonna do it, then I am on board. And so I'll usually won't say anything back to anybody or communicate about the show until, really right before it. The night before I'm asking for a photograph, so I can make the little thumbnail thing. So anyway, um, it worked out perfectly today because then I was able to come be live now. However, if any of you are up late at night, I'm just curious how many of you would have joined. Maybe I'll do it. Joshua says, "Oh, I see the sky glitter too, Mila, especially on sunny days. There are sparkles dancing wherever I look, especially if I have been outside for a while." Yeah, it's like at night your eyes get adjusted so you can see the stars better. It's the same with the glitter, it seems like, especially if you close your eyes and then open them again. It seems there's Yeti found a snake today. He is so curious, and the snake seemed so curious. Yeti kept his distance, and snake crawled off peacefully. I don't have time to read the whole thing to you, Shannon, but snake is a very powerful energy. We've seen snake a couple of times recently too. Oh, and dude, my daughter found a scorpion in her room that I had to get rid of, and then last night there was one in the office here. Let me find snake. Snake is one of 3 totems that when you're at the coming of age period and you start to get to find out what your totem is, if you get snake, bat, or owl, you're known that you're going to be a shaman. And so it's a amazing energy, but it's transmutation. I'll read you the poem, and Shannon, I'll put this on the big Telegram group, maybe, if that's something that so I can show it to you, see what it means. It's 6. Transmutation. Snake, come crawling. There's fire in your eyes. Bite me, excite me. I'll learn to realize the poison transmuted brings eternal flame. Open me to heaven to heal me again. It's very rare. Its initiation involves a lot of different things. It's really cool. There's a lot about snake. Um, we have a lot of conversations in the spiritual groups about reptilians and things like that, and often we'll give them, a bad rap. Um, just like you're gonna run into an a-hole here and there on of that's human, so it's true for a lot of these other energies. And a-holes tend to hang out with each other, and so the example of snake being a bad thing isn't always true. As an example, dragon is reptilian. Dragon has this reptilian, as well as I just found out. I was coded by that, and I looked it up, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Is that cat is more closely related to snake than it is to tiger or to lion. I found that very fascinating. And that snake is the protector of the human, and also of between the two worlds. You have have dog and cat who have done a great service for humanity over the years, and it's just fascinating to look at. So anyway, thank you for bringing up snake. I love you all. Okay, Maria's usually up late. I'll keep that in mind because I feel like going live sometimes, and I might be in my pajamas. I really don't care. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Love that book, Mila. I love it too. This is an amazing book. I don't remember how long ago it was that this is my second copy. My first copy I had even longer ago. But I don't remember when it was that I bought this. I do know it was around $20 for the set. The way that price gouging happened during lockdown and all that stuff, it's probably more like 80 now. I don't know, but it's worth it. So otherwise, I'm not selling it. I don't know these people. I'm not sponsored by anybody. I'm just telling you what I like. You can also look it up online. There's a bunch of different websites that do it. and finding the one that resonates with you the most. So I love you. Thank you all for being here, for participating in this. This has been such an amazing journey. Um, and we're just going to keep getting better, allowing yourself to take the time that you need as much as you can allow, based on what your life can accommodate, will really assist you and improve your experience in every one of the moments. I'm a night owl as well. Speaking of owl, all right, Lisa. Kenny's up late, right? I actually forget that we're talking about whole different time zones. So maybe I will do. Maybe I'll do that more often. All right. I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Happy new moon. Remember that you are planting what you choose to sow. So for in the full moon time, which is just in a few weeks. It's the day before the 24th, by the way. And so as these things are coming through and happening, allow yourself to just, you don't need to pay attention to the attention grab or the sensationalized stuff right now. Let the news be the news over there, and don't focus on it. That's my suggestion for myself, because what we're focusing on right now is what we're manifesting. I love you, and I will see you soon.